If your only experience with AI is opening ChatGPT, asking a question, copying the answers, and then moving on, then honestly, you're still using AI like a search engine. And look, that is not necessarily wrong, but that is how most people start. Quick questions, quick answers, quick drafts. But something changes when you start using Claude properly. Not because Claude is a magically smarter system and not because ChatGPT suddenly becomes useless, but because Claude changes how many business owners actually think about work. And once people switch properly, they usually realize something really important. They were not really building systems before. They were just generating outputs. And that is a very, very different thing. So in this video, I want to break down what actually changes when you move from ChatGPT to Claude, and why so many business owners suddenly start operating completely differently when they do. Now, first, let's get something out of the way. This video is not Claude is good, ChatGPT is bad. That is just a conversation and an opinion. Both tools are incredibly powerful. Both tools can save time. Both tools can improve workflows, and both tools can improve your business. But they encourage different behaviors, and that is what really matters with this. Because the real issue in business is not which AI is smarter. The real issue is, how does this change the way that this business actually operates? That is the bigger question that you need to be thinking about. Most business owners do not need another AI tutorial or another prompt pack or another productivity hack. What they actually need is a better operational clarity, better systems, better information, and less friction. And this is where Claude feels different, because Claude naturally pushes people towards more structured thinking, not just faster content generation. And that's just a shift that most people notice after switching. Not that the answers are just a little bit better, but it just basically changes how you actually organize work. And that is a much more meaningful difference. So for most people, ChatGPT becomes a tool for rapid outputs. You will open a fresh chat, you'll ask a quick question, you'll get an answer, and then you'll move on. And honestly, that workflow is definitely really useful. Need a quick email? Great. Need a headline idea? Done. Need a summary? Useful. But over time, many people unintentionally develop a habit for treating AI as transactional. They will ask, they will receive, and then they will leave. Almost like a smarter Google. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But the limitation is that AI never really understands your business that deeply. Every new conversation starts from scratch, and eventually business owners realize that they spend a huge amount of time re-explaining context, re-uploading information, redesigning offers, researching tone, rebuilding the thinking, and that will naturally create friction, and the friction will compound. Because every time context disappears, the quality of the output will drop. Now compare that to Claude. Claude becomes significantly more powerful once context accumulates over time. Projects will enable persistent instructions, reference documents, voice examples, frameworks, internal thinking. And suddenly AI stops feeling like a one-off output and starts feeling like an actual operational environment. They're completely different in the way these businesses work. And once this big shift happens with Claude, you will start to think about context. And honestly, this is where pretty much all operational problems become invisible. And it's what most business owners don't see. The strategy is just one document. The client notes are somewhere else. The brand voice is trapped in another folder. The sales information lives in Slack, and the onboarding process exists in someone's head. And everything is fragmented. And fragmented businesses usually feel heavier to run because humans are constantly trying to manually reconnect with the actual information. And it's absolutely exhausting. I did it for my entire life and career. But Claude will push businesses forward towards more centralized thinking. Now, instead of the AI knowing the current question, it understands your brand, your tone, your offer, your frameworks, your processes, your past decisions, and the outputs become more dramatically useful, not generic, but contextual. And that distinction matters a lot, because a better context creates a better decision, better communication, better systems, and better execution. And this is why a lot of people suddenly feel Claude understands their business a whole lot more. It is not magic. The system simply has more operational awareness, and the operational awareness has a massive output on the actual quality of what you are doing. And another thing that people notice after switching is that Claude feels a lot more collaborative. And I think this changes the way that business owners think as well. A lot of ChatGPT usage becomes, give me the answer. Claude often becomes, help me think through this properly with you. That is a completely different interaction style entirely. Because good businesses are not built from isolated answers. They are built from refinement, iteration, strategic thinking, operational clarity, and also better systems. Claude works extremely well for long-form planning, strategy development, refining ideas, improving offers, operational thinking, building workflows. And that will change your behavior. You stop to try and extract instant outputs constantly and start building a system that actually improves over time. And that is where business owners start getting real transaction from AI, because eventually the goal stops being how fast can I generate this and actually starts to become how intelligent can I actually run and operate my business. And that is a huge shift for a business owner. And honestly, this is why many business owners suddenly feel calmer once they have properly structured their AI workflows. And the business stops depending entirely on memory, scattered communication, and manual coordination. This is huge, right? Because operational chaos will drain energy, not just time, but your energy. And honestly, this is the biggest thing of all. Most people begin using AI for content. They will have captions, emails, scripts, ideas, and posts. But eventually, the real value of AI becomes the operational format, because Claude naturally pushes businesses in that direction compared to ChatGPT. Because once you start building projects and co-work and persistent context and workflows and internal systems and integrations, everything will start to change. You stop thinking, how do I make this faster? And start thinking, how do I reduce friction inside of this business? And how do I actually build more intelligent for better informed decisions? Because business owners do not become more profitable because someone did something faster. They become more profitable because of the communication, the internal systems, the speed and execution and intelligence and informed decisions that you actually make on a day-to-day basis. That is what is actually going to think that facilitates change. And honestly, business owners that use AI will start to feel different because they will be less reactive, less chaotic, and less overwhelmed. And the businesses that don't will be starting to really start to fall behind, to say the least. The goal is not to just use AI more. The goal is to operate better. And Claude will fit that style of working extremely well. And honestly, I think this is why business owners are moving towards Claude right now rather than ChatGPT, because it stopped being as useful because of the friction, because of the fast actions, and because of it just being a yes man. And the first wave of AI adoption was mostly excitement. Wow, this can generate content. And the next phase is so much more serious. Now business owners are in a spot where they're asking, how can I actually integrate this into my operations? How can I build this into my marketing? How can I build in brains and intelligence and really coming in at a level that is just genuinely not humanly possible? And Claude becomes an incredibly compelling tool to be using there, especially for agencies, consultants, coaches, operators, service providers, teams dealing with information. There's no business out there that this system cannot support. And I know that because I work with hundreds now. So the team communication will be better, the workflows will be better, and overall, just your entire day-to-day, week-to-week, and annual life will start to move with so much more intelligence and so much more impact just by spending a little bit of time actually building these systems. So if I had to simplify the difference, then it would be this. ChatGPT will often help people produce faster. Claude often will help business owners think and operate more systematically. That is the biggest impact and change that I see. And honestly, it's why so many people suddenly feel like, oh my God, something's changed. And they've stopped using AI just as a quick reaction content AI machine and started using it like a real operational intelligence infrastructure, which is what it is. And that is a completely different level of transaction. And over the next few years, I think business owners that will win will be the ones who understand this early right now. Less chaos, less friction, better systems, faster execution. And that is where all of this is heading now. If you can read, copy, paste, then I can show you how to set up all these systems at high level in your business. And if you want help with this directly inside of what you are doing right now, inside your company, no matter what niche you are in, no matter what market that you're in, and you want to work with me directly one-to-one, then there's a link in the description on this video, and I'll see you on the next one.